Hello, Emma Sydney, productivity and visibility coach here to talk to you about why it's so much easier, excuse me, still hay fevery, to believe in others rather than it's so much easier to believe in other people rather than ourselves. Oh, there's some lovely doves. I think they look like doves. Wait a minute, let me show you my current, just to distract us. See, I've got doves, I've got seagull, squirrel. There's another squirrel. Wait a minute, where's the other squirrel gone? There it is. So yes, I'm just going to talk while you look at the wildlife. Why is it, oh there's another, oh look, it's going up a tree. Why is it so much easier to believe in other people rather than ourselves? We believe in our family, in our friends, in our children more easily quite often than we believe in ourselves. Now, as you may know, I've had quite a journey to this point. And when I was a child, I really did believe that everybody else was brilliant. But yet, I shouldn't be here. And I had this whole mind thing where I used to think, I don't remember it all, I only remember a little bit, but I used to think, well, people would be better off without me. But I could still see the brilliance in others. I would have stubborn moments, which I think is what kept me going, where I think, sod you, I'm going to actually, if you don't like me, I'm going to stay here anyway and talk to you, because that's the way our brains work. I think that was my survival function. But even then, I could see how brilliant people were. So that was an example, a big example of how I could believe in others and not believe in myself. But over time, I started to hang on to the idea that I was like a pebble. That, yes, a pebble on a beach. I think I went on holiday and I just saw beaches, I don't know. I think it's what sort of stems my whole fascination with the sea. But it was the idea that everybody is a pebble, and I was a pebble, and therefore I was important. And I shifted into that belief that I was important enough to be here, not necessarily important enough to have a voice, not necessarily important enough to stand up and say, hey, this is me. I still hid. At this point, I was still, I got panic attacks if I went out in public. Now, I look like I've got a bit of a halo. It's not even that sunny. Now, I think that a lot of this, which is where I'm coming from, is what we're saying to ourselves. It's easier to look at other people and see how great they are. We don't see ourselves in quite the same way. And we need to learn how to see ourselves in a better way. So actually we do learn to love ourselves and we see the positives in ourselves. And a lot of that is around that conversation we have in our head about ourselves and what we say about what we're doing. So instead of overanalyzing the conversation where it's like, I should have said this, or they're going to think I'm really stupid, or he doesn't love me because he did this. We need to start changing those conversations, and that's where I often talk about focusing on joy and gratitude, because it helps unpick that conversation. Now, the other element of that is actually focusing on what's great about ourselves. Doesn't matter what other people say. It's picking things, even the smallest of things that you can think, hey, I'm super proud I did that, or I have gorgeous eyes. And we need to keep saying that. And slowly but surely, that belief will kick in. And this is where I think it's so important to build our confidence in ourselves and our own self-belief, that we are beautiful and amazing, but that I am beautiful or amazing. We need to reflect what we see on others inside ourselves. And that's one of the things I've been talking about it the last 2 days. This is the third C, confidence. It's about practicing that shining our own internal light on ourselves and building our confidence. Sounds like there's something going on at the pavilions that I'm just walking past. So that's where we build that belief in ourselves. Now, the super cool thing is, if you believe in others, you can see the light and the brilliance in others, then you have the capacity to see it in yourself. You have that thought process. You can start. You must recognise yourself in them. It's just that you're not doing it consciously. You're not applying it to yourself. And why is this so important? Because with confidence, it's so much easier to get out there and be visible and change the world in our small little ways, to inspire others, to inspire ourselves. And that's why that self-belief and really working on it is so crucial. And it's why it's one of the 10 C's. It's now gone to 10 C's because I did a little count this morning and I'd got a few different C's in a few different places. So it's 10 C's. So it's why confidence is so crucial to becoming visible and to making that difference, that having that purpose in our life, being able to dream and live our dreams. And that's what we're going to be, as I say, exploring a bit more on the Visible Living Challenge. We're also going to be building our confidence to become more confident at doing things like lives, at doing things like videos, at doing presentations, because they're often things that people just don't like. But actually they're quite powerful because they're a way of us showing up. So I'm going to talk about this in a little bit more detail over the next few days. In the meantime, practice your confidence, and I will speak to you soon.